Recording a guitar directly into the DAW is a total thing. People have been recording directly for a long time. The Beatles made it famous. So I went to my racks and I found, okay, here's 3 different preamp pairs I have available for this job to commit to this. Because I want a pair of them because I'm going to do stereo out of my effects. So you're going to run into my pedal chain. So I have all of those options and I can build any kind of drive or fuzz or distortion or modulation or reverb, all of those things. I can create that sound directly outside and then DI it through these preamps into the DAW. Okay, but I wanted to know which of these 3 are the one I want to commit to that. Does one stand out as being better or worse or super easy or super hard, or I just want to know. So here we go. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to the tests. Things to remember, these are volume level matched. There's been no other processing except for they've been leveled out so that everyone is the exact same volume. Nothing is louder than the other one, unless I tell you differently. Also, every single clip is the same performance. Okay, here we go. Sample number 1. Okay, so focus on that high end, the hiss, the noise floor. That's what I'm trying to listen to. I mean, the tone is the tone. They all sound good, but I'm looking for electronic noise, right? So pay attention to that. Here's the same exact clips, only I've reversed the order. Were you able to focus on that high end, that thing? Okay, I'm going to help you because I'm going to show you the next sample, which is the bit of rolling of the tape prior to me playing the guitar, so just the dead air, so you can really hear distinctly the 3 different preamps. However, the first sample I'm going to show you is one that I did 0 level matching and no boosting whatsoever. So it's so quiet that in an actual mix, in real life, you just absolutely can't hear it. So it is irrelevant, even though they're 3 totally different sounds that way down below. I mean, we're talking like minus 89 dB, which is, you can't hear it. Okay, so now to make it more obvious, I did not raise them to be level and even. What I did is I applied the same 40 dB of gain to each preamp. So they're 3 different volume levels, but they're now going to be loud enough that you can hear them. Okay, so here's the second example of the noise test. Here you go. Yeah, so you can hear that electronic noise. And I should note at this point in time, when I did this test, I chose to use a daisy chain power supply, which I knew was going to probably introduce more noise than if I used the isolated power supply where each pedal was separately isolated from the other. And I did that because I wanted to know which preamp is more susceptible, etc., so you can hear it. Now, the thing is, the R&P doesn't have any of that. You're just hearing that white noise hiss. The Trans X, that white noise hiss is there, and it's actually lower than the R&P, but it has that electronic, pedal noise. And then the MPA 201 has a lot more of both. Okay, so check it out. Here we go. This is totally exaggerated. These are level matched, and the level is the same volume as the actual guitar playing. So these are super cranked. I mean, probably 60 dB or more. Here we go. I mean, if you only heard that, you're going to say, holy crap, that mic tech is so loud and noisy and unusable. It's absolutely not. I mean, those are so far down in dBs, it's irrelevant. But it is interesting when you boost, it's just like zooming in on a camera and you see a bunch of stuff. You're like, gosh, that's crazy, right? You just microscoped it. So, all right, keep that in mind. I don't want anybody thinking that one of these preamps is noisy when they're really not. Okay, now, last set of tests. We're going to hear I guess a louder guitar part. This is still just, totally bypassed effects direct, so it's not like a rocking guitar part. If you put it through an amp or through pedals, it would be, a lot louder. But you'll hear what I mean in a minute. But here we go. Now that you have identified, hopefully, and recognized the hiss, see if you can hear it at the end as this kind of, the note fades out, you can hear it come up. And you'll see how, it relates to the volume of the music. You know what I mean? The dynamic range between the hiss and the music, and you should understand that in a mix, it does not matter. You're not going to hear it. Okay, here we go. I'll let you listen to those clips one more time. Here you go. Okay, so which preamp have I decided to use for my stereo DI stuff? The one I'm not using is the mic tech, and it's not because it has that extra noise, because I do think that if I use the isolated pedal powers, the electronic parts would go down and then it'd just be the hiss and they're all, whatever. But it's because, number one, the mic tech takes up 2 rack spaces, so it's bigger. But more importantly, while the gain is detented, so I can easily get exactly the same gain left to right, the output is totally variable. And once you go too low on that potentiometer, they go off. They're analog, so it's not like 0.2 is 0.2 on the right one. 0.2 is 1, and in the same position, it's totally different. They're just hard to match. So I ruled that one out. And then it was between the RMP and the Trans X. The RMP doesn't have an output now, so it's harder to get precisely where I want to put it, because I try to track at a certain dB level all the time, and it's just the way that I do it. And so, I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but it's a little bit harder to do that. The Trans X, which is the one I'm going to use, is the RMP is so crystal clear. It's beautiful. It's not thin in any way. It's full and clear. But the Trans X is just tiny bit rounder and just a tiny bit more weight, because the RMP is transformerless. The Trans X has a big old Cinemag transformer in it, and you can just feel that weight. And I like that weight, and I think it adds to my overall thing. But also, in addition to, equally as important, the Trans X, every knob is detented, so it takes 2 seconds to totally match this stuff, and it's just easier to use and quicker. So there you go. I appreciate you guys listening to and watching this video. Lots more to come. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and yep, see you later. Bye.